Do I have to put this up now? Is it live? I have to put my toys. Hey, I'm your host BKP. Good morning for beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. It is a beautiful morning. Rose, it's not cold. Rose like, it's cold. It's a beautiful morning in downtown Blue Ridge. It's a little cool. You hear behind me what I call small town America starting up for the day. We're going to hear trucks and construction and delivery trucks coming down through here. Obviously, there'll be plenty of beer. Because we're going to have the beer trucks in a minute. We always make a joke about that. I'm your host, BKP. We have the Broken Bull. We have the New Blue Home and Gift, Quinte, the Peruvian store, and Tupelo Tea. So we love it here at Sycamore Crossing in downtown Blue Ridge every Friday morning. Now, a quick announcement, a programming note. I always wanted to say that, a quick programming note. Don't get nervous out there. But September will be the end of our Sycamore Crossing. It will, not the end, can't say it that way, until we continue next spring. But we're going inside. We're taking the show inside, but we're staying in Blue Ridge, okay? And you know, you're always welcome to come and say hello in the morning to us. We're going to be at Blue Jeans October, the first Friday of October. We start our show inside at Blue Jeans over here, Blue Jeans Pizza. So we have to have breakfast pizza. Now, Ken said we could have breakfast pizza, but Sam had to come in and make it. That was the only way we could get the deal. If Sam came, I'm sorry, folks, we had to go a couple weeks ago, and Sam told me this little story like, you want coffee? I know how to use that machine in 5 minutes. I'm like, what happened to the coffee? Well, I have to admit, you know, I'm throwing you under the bus. I'm sorry I didn't get coffee. So anyhow, we're going to Blue Jeans first week of October. Glad to have Sam and Rose with us and Richie with FYN TV. The band is back together, folks. Yes, you know them as, I don't know how you know them. Oh, Rick and Bruce. We'll just call them Rick and Bruce. They are back, okay? We'll just go with Fire and Fury. There we go, Fire and Fury. I don't know where I heard that from, but Rick and Bruce are back from their travels abroad around the world, and they're going to share with us a little bit about their trip. But we're going to have our all-star panel. The band is back together, and we're going to ask Rick and Bruce what they think of Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, making deals with Democrats, Chuck and Nancy. I mean, you got to say it's a movie line, right? So what we're going to talk to them, ask them what they think about Donald Trump making deals with Chuck and Nancy. Draka, the dreamers out there, what do you think? So much has blown up on the internet. What do you think? Now, I went through social media. So many of you out there have opinions, obviously. Rose, maybe we put out there the question, would you be okay with the dreamers, however you want to phrase it, staying with no right to vote? And see how we'll let them stay, because I'm hearing everything. Okay, let's work something out. I see on social media to let the dreamers stay, okay? Let them stay, but they can't vote. Let's see how fast Democrats support that. You have put up on there, everybody has opinions. What do you think? I read an opinion on, you know, we don't hold children responsible for. You continue to say, many of you out there, don't take this wrong, because there's so much of this that you're telling me on social media. I do support you. But many of you are saying, you know what, they committed a crime, they committed a crime, they committed a crime. Okay, all right, okay. They broke the law, and they should not get in front of the line. I hear this one. This is one that I really take hold on, is getting in front of the line. Because we do have people, you know, you and I maybe don't deal with this, but we do have people that are in this country that have been trying to get family members in this country the proper way. They've been trying to get family members in here through proper immigration, paperwork. They've been 7 years. There's been families 6 and 7 years trying to get their family in here, the proper channels, using the proper channels. So there's a lot of openings there that we have to find out, how do you feel? So don't get in front of the line. I'm hearing don't get in front of the line, don't let them vote, all right? But they broke the law. And then I'm hearing people say, well, we're going to hold them responsible, these children responsible for the laws their parents broke. So anyhow, I mean, you might not like this, but so let's say somebody goes in to rob the convenience store. This is a real bad example, but I don't have a good one. So somebody goes in to rob the convenience store and they take the kid, 3 years old, just wait right here. You know, mommy or daddy needs to see how much is in the cash register. You stay with me right here because I don't want to leave you in the car. You know, it's dangerous out there in the car. I don't want to leave you in the car. You take the money out of the cash register, you grab the kid, you go get in the car. I don't know, folks. I really don't. I want to hear from you. Moving right along, you can't go, I think this should be top story. I understand there's a bucket bomb in London. Again, a bucket bomb in London. I understand. We can go all day about what has happened to a no border society like Europe. I'm just telling you. And we get in arguments all the time. I love the hurricane, better safe than sorry. Every preparation for the hurricane was better safe than sorry, but when it comes to our immigration and security of our southern border, better safe than sorry is not viable. We shouldn't use that. I think top story this morning should be that the Cleveland Indians have won 22 straight games. I'm sorry. I'm a baseball guy. I think the top story should be the Cleveland Indians extend the winning streak in an amazing way, 22 straight games. Now, I want to watch Cleveland Indians, and I can't help it. Every time I watch them, I want to wait for them to call on Wild Thing. And I want to wait for them to call on Ricky Vaughn, all right? All right? And, you know, I really do, man. I want to see Charlie Sheen come out of the bullpen, and I want to see, what's his name? Who was the announcer in that, Rick? Richie, Bob Uecker. I want to hear Bob Uecker say, just a little bit outside, all right? That's what I want to hear. So anyhow, Major League. Cleveland Indians, 22 straight games, 22 straight games, winning streak. That is just awesome. Amnesty. Donald Trump says there is no amnesty. Chuck and Nancy went back and told their family there is amnesty. I don't know. I really don't know what they are doing. You have to understand, though, when it comes to immigration, the Republicans and the Democrats both want amnesty. Don't get confused by that. They both want amnesty. But here is what I want to stay not focused, but I don't want to lose sight of. You know, on a little side note, North Korea fired another missile. It went into Japanese airspace and was there for about 2 minutes. Yes. And what happened? The UN Security Council rushed to meet. Well, I feel much safer now knowing that the UN Security Council has rushed to meet like 5 times in a row. Let's see. It was just how many days ago we were reading all the articles to where UN Security Sanctions Council tightened up sanctions today on North Korea, went to the next level. Yeah, that's really got him concerned. He's real upset with that, right? But then they watered down the sanctions so Russia and China would support the sanctions. What are they rushing in to make a decision to do now? With this guy actually, hydrogen bomb, right, has tested it, ready to strap it to an ICBM, may be able to hit our mainland out there on the coast, Hawaii. What do we do with this guy? Because I talked, if you look at my segments, it was kind of like cold and dark, but I did a segment where, you know, Russia and China, I think, are using this little guy to try to drag us in there. I really think he's a pawn for them, and I think they want to drag us in there. Because China's already said, if we strike, they will back North Korea. That's right. And Russia has that little tip up there. They have a border. A lot of people don't stop to think that Russia actually has a border with North Korea, and there's a port. And if you go to that port today, I understand it's a very busy port with Russia pushing about as much commodities and goods through that port to North Korea as they can. Wow. But I thought the UN Security Council was rushing to meet, and they were going to stop all this stuff coming into North Korea, especially petroleum products, right? No, not where Russia's concerned. So what do we do with a North Korea that doesn't care what the sanctions are, that we do know has nuclear capability, that we do know has ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and is ready to strap a nuclear warhead to that missile and send it anywhere? Right? But I'll tell you what. Now, this is kind of out there, but then again, that's me. The news cycle is driven this morning by a bucket bomb in London, which is serious. It's serious. But the news cycle is driven by a bucket bomb in London. Folks, let me tell you something. An ICBM with a nuclear warhead strapped to it, it ranks a little higher than a bucket bomb. And something's got to happen over there. Why is the media... Let me give you this, and I'm going to leave here because we got Dr. Whaley here. We're going to have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley, and we thank the Georgia Cancer Specialist for that segment. He'll be in here in a minute, and he'll probably have a couple comments on anything in the week's event. He always does, and we have a couple questions for him. And then we have our all-star panel, our pet of the week, and then Richie and I are going to take about 5 minutes to talk about high school football throughout the show. At one point, we got high school football. It's Fetch. I love this weather because every time I get up and I feel this nice, cool weather, I know the lights, it's Friday night lights, and it's Fetch Football Friday. Can't wait. So we got guys on the field all over in North Georgia. We'll talk about that in a minute. Now, when Karen Handel ran against John Ossoff, the Democrats ran in, supported Ossoff, and the media took great pride in covering this, right? Great pride. But now that there's some national races that should be considered national races in Republican primaries, why is the media leaving some of these races alone and not discussing them or bringing them out? How about Jeff Flakes out there in Arizona? I hear Jeff Flakes is underwater in the polls against his primary opponent, right? How come the media is not looking a little deeper at the Pennsylvania 15th Congressional District where Charlie Dent just decided he would not seek his 8th term? Why is the national media not looking at all of the outrage in that race and controversy in that race? It's Republicans. You know, I want to say directly to Donald Trump, the President of the United States, I still support you. There's a part of me that understands why you had Chuck and Nancy over for dinner. Okay? Part of me that understands that. Not okay with it, but all right, we'll move on past that. But on no given day, Mr. President, will any Democrat ever support you in Washington, D.C. at the end of the day. And then no day, it don't matter what the vote is. And absolutely no day will the media ever support you when it comes down to the end. Now, so if you think, Mr. President, that you're going to put up legislation and you're going to brag that this is how it's supposed to work and it's going to have bipartisan vote, and if you think you're going to do a legislative immigration piece and it's going to have so many Republicans and it's going to have 50 Democrats vote for it, and you're going to come out on the media and you're going to look at the camera and say, this is how it works because we got 50 Democrats. 50 Democrats voted for this, and that's why we got it, and that's why it's a good piece and it's good for America. Don't forget, if Nancy Pelosi becomes Speaker of the House, you ready, Mr. President? If Nancy Pelosi becomes Speaker of the House again, her first order of business will be articles of impeachment against you when she's in charge, and the 50 Democrats that voted for your program today will be the same 50 that will vote to impeach you. Don't forget that. If it's a snake on the ground today and you see it's a snake and you pick it up and get bit, don't come back to the American people and complain. I'm just telling you. I'm your host, BKP. Let's take a break. It's 8:15. We're going to get Dr. Whaley in here. There you go. We got the show spinning. Take us a break, Richie.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Broken Bull, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing, is locally owned and operated. Our Simply Noel selection is the largest around. We have a great selection of unique clothing and several lines to choose from for men and women. We carry a beautiful variety of handmade jewelry from Blessed Be and others. All kinds of gifts, starting to carry shoes this fall as well. Come visit us on your next trip to Blue Ridge. We can't wait to meet you at Broken Bull, located in downtown Blue Ridge.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Ellijay Fitness Center, located at 379 River Street in Ellijay. Open 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. Locally owned and operated by Mark and Amy Woodring. Now offering sport-specific training to young athletes. Doesn't matter the sport. If you want to excel, let us help you be your best. Call or come by today for customized programs. 706-636-2348. Ellijay Fitness Center, your local and friendly health club. A place where everybody is somebody.
Tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Be sure to check out New Blue Home and Gift, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Find us on Twitter at New Blue Home. Everything beautiful for your home or a special gift can be found at New Blue Home and Gift. Call us today at 706-455-3873 or visit us at 531 East Main Street, Suite 103 in downtown Blue Ridge.
Hey, and we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. We're at Sycamore Crossing. I love this cool mountain mornings, but it's Friday, and what that means to me, it's time for Friday Night Lights, and I love high school football. Team FYN Sports will be all over the field. But right now this morning, I want to give a shout out to Broken Bull, Blue Home and Gift, Quinte, the Peruvian store, and Tupelo Tea. What a great place, Sycamore Crossing. And I'm here with Dr. William Whaley. Ask the Doc. How are you, sir?
I'm great. No mandolin player and no tea yet.
Yeah, no, nothing yet.
No, all right.
Not yet.
Okay. I want to. The last thing that you said before the break was that this missile North Korea launched passed over Japan.
For
2 minutes.
Yes.
And it's an intercontinental ballistic missile. Okay, by definition, that would mean that it can go from one continent to the next. It went 2,160 miles, which says it can reach Guam. Now, to be intercontinental, they keep shooting them. They keep shooting them in the eastern direction. To get to the next continent, they got to come all the way to North America. But if they went the other way, you realize where they could go? From instead of going into the Pacific Ocean, they could be in London, they could be anywhere in Europe. So those North Koreans have picked us to be mad at, not the EU, not anybody, not anybody to the west of them, just us. And that's a point we need to think about.
That South China Sea, that Asian Peninsula, China wants that.
Yeah, and the other thing is 2 minutes over Japan. Have you driven across Japan in a train or a car? It's a long way. So that thing was flying at 1,800 miles an hour or something, which again is almost be able to get it into space, or I think it has to go into space to get up that high. So we began talking about this a year ago, like they were shooting Scud missiles back at Israel in the days of the Gulf War, and they were 160-mile missiles, and they were pea shooters and stuff. They're in the big time now. I mean, this is the big time, and I think you say, how are we going to treat them? Well, maybe we're going to treat them like we treated Iran and get us a bunch of paper. Maybe we're going to treat them like we treat everybody else who puts water in our face and calls it rain. I don't know, but I'm scared. They make me very uncomfortable.
Well, the thing with North Korea that just really concerns me, when I say concerns, I don't like to use the word fear, but something has to happen, and he's determined to make something happen, and what is the solution? And I, for one, don't believe China and Russia are really trying to help solve it. That's me.
No, we'll move on to medical stuff, because the reason I said Iran, we always have this thing in our back pocket that Israel will get our ox out of a ditch with Iran. And if they go too far with building nuclear stuff, Israel's going to go in there and maybe using our airplanes and some of our intelligence, but Israel will be the hammer. We don't have a hammer. We don't have a hammer. China's not the hammer. Russia's not the hammer. Japan's not the hammer. South Korea's not the hammer. There's no hammer that we've got around North Korea like we have around Iran. That's not us. There's no Israel for Iran.
Well, Iran's another subject, but let's go to medical.
All right. Now,
all right. What do you got?
I want to pick up is my wife, who's the conspiracy theorist. About 2 years ago, told me that the community, the spy community, had these rays that they could shine at you that would make you go nuts, or that could control your thoughts, or all of that stuff. You mean, like the guy with the little aluminum foil hat or something like that. What do you know about the Cuban disease and afflictions of the American and the Canadian diplomats?
Oh, okay, go there.
All right.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that story, but
25 to 30.
Like a sonic boom that they.
It's a little more complicated.
Right,
than that.
it is.
This is not.
I'm glad you brought that up.
This is not a small problem. Number one, it's gone on now for 11 months, which we've just learned about it in the last few weeks. The number now is up close to 30 American diplomats and or embassy employees who have all suffered over time the same or similar perceptions that they may be in their bed or their workspace or somewhere in private, and they have this huge sound that comes out of them. It's been either crickets or wah-wah-wahs or what. They can't describe it the same way, and they step a foot away to get away from it. It's totally silent. So it's like you got up from this desk, and by the time you got to the control board, it had gone. And rather than just being nasty noise like they shot at Noriega listening to the Beatles or whatever it was, this has caused decreased hearing, cognitive dysfunction, motor neurological things that do not clear. So 10 or 11 months after having this noise, some people are still deaf. Some have cognitive dysfunction like delayed concussion symptoms, and nobody has any idea what it is. Now, to make it where it doesn't seem like it's just totally a bunch of kooks that are sitting around the same coffee table like some people used to say the Desert Storm syndrome was, or fibromyalgia is, or whatever. Canadian diplomats who are very friendly to Cuba, not unfriendly to Cuba, have had the same thing. Well, I don't claim to know what it is, but it's real, it's serious. National Institutes of Health is looking at it, the FBI and the Canadian Mounted Police are looking at it, and one of these days we're going to learn something strange about it. Well, it's a medical thing. See, they got cognitive dysfunction.
Well, I thought former President Obama normalized relations with Cuba. I thought we were okay there. So.
Well, you can go there, I guess, but you still got to get.
Don't drag me down these roads, and then.
All right.
Our first question this morning, and I really like this question because E. coli. How can I tell if food is contaminated? How can I tell if it's contaminated? Is there a way?
No. How'd you like that? No.
That's it?
All right, yeah, that's it. Okay, this is the biggest area of foodborne illness that we have, and we've discussed this many times. I think the simple thing is to start with travelers' advice. When we tell people that are going to be going to South America, Central America, going to be going anywhere in Asia, going to Mexico, you don't eat a fresh salad, you don't eat anything that's not steamingly cooked, you don't eat a vegetable that you can't peel. You wash that vegetable, you're going to peel in the solutions that they give you to clean vegetables, because you have to assume that everything that's grown in the ground in underdeveloped countries has E. coli on it. You've got to assume that most things that are grown in the United States have E. coli on them. Well, where does E. coli come from? It is the most common organism in the human gastrointestinal tract, in the chicken gastrointestinal tract, in the cow and the pig gastrointestinal tract. So when you read these things in Consumer Reports about their testing of supermarket chicken, supermarket fish, and they then culture it, it's not 0.5% or 5% of poultry that has E. coli on it, it's 70, 80%. So you have to assume every time you go to the market and you buy chicken that's raw and you take it into your house and you slap it down on the cutting board and you chop it up, and then you're going to fry it, bake it, or whatever you're going to do with it. It is crystal clear on what it tells you. Eating raw or undercooked fish, chicken, fowl, whatever, is associated with foodborne disease. Assume that every piece of chicken you buy in the grocery store has E. coli on it. And then when you finish chopping it up, you got to take the cutting board, you got to take the knife, and you got to take your hands, and you got to clean them before you put the salad up there. And then you got to wash the lettuce, and you got to wash the tomatoes, and you got to wash the celery, because you have to assume that they also are contaminated. So just about everything that we purchase and eat in our own country has such a high chance of having E. coli on it that you've got to assume that it all does.
So when you're cooking, preparing your foods, and there's not a way to actually look at something at the store or visually smell it to know it's contaminated, but we need to assume it is and treat it that way when we're preparing food.
That's correct.
100%.
Even, for example, they tell you steak, of course, it's only the surface, but ground beef, it's all the way through, and that's why they tell you don't eat a hamburger that's not at least medium cooked so that it's hot all the way through. If you eat a medium rare hamburger and it had been on the surface when they ground it up, it can be alive in the middle of that hamburger.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, I like a medium rare.
I just thought,
too.
that just changed my perspective
I
of
like
something.
a medium rare too. I brought it right home there, huh?
Yeah, you brought it right. You brought it right
French
home.
fries are safe.
Now
by
the
way.
steak is the top. Oh, French fries are safe.
Yes, yeah, steak's safe because you have taken the side. Now, if you have taken, listen to this very carefully. If you have taken a fork and you have stuck that fork into the raw steak or into the steak before it's been heated on the surface, then you can carry the E. coli from the surface into the center, and then if it's medium rare or rare, it can still be alive in there.
Okay, let's move on. This goes a different direction, but this is something.
We don't want to get any more diarrhea, so let's go to something that's going to save our life, not give us diarrhea.
All right, what are electronic cigarettes? Are they safer than the conventional cigarettes? And that is a big thing, electronic cigarettes. Are they safer than conventional cigarettes?
Well, the basic answer to are they safer than regular cigarettes is definitely yes. But that's not licensed to say that this is a thing that you ought to be encouraging people to use, other than the most hardcore cigarette addicted person who has been adequately tried in more conventional smoking cessation programs. The recommendations really are that the nicotine that's in a electronic cigarette is as powerful or more powerful than the amount of nicotine in the cigarette that you bought at the filling station. And the use of electronic cigarettes, particularly in young people who are using them that don't smoke, they now get electronic cigarettes, taking a nicotine hit off of it, and they haven't ever used cigarettes, is associated with emergency room visits for high blood pressure, heart attack, tachycardia, because the nicotine dose is powerful and high. And nobody knows what the long-term effect of all of the things that carry the nicotine. It's ethylene glycol, which is antifreeze. It's different types of oil-based stuff, propylene and everything that you're inhaling into your lungs. And the life of the nicotine, what do you call it, vaping now, is only about 5 or 6 years long. Now, particularly in Europe, where things are a little better studied than they are here, you know, you can just vape with stuff you buy any place. In the really hardcore tobacco addict, if they switch over to using the electronic cigarette, it almost never takes them totally off of cigarettes. But it may lower them from 2.5 packs a day down to a half a pack a day, which in the overall benefit from all of the junk that's on the regular tobacco is of benefit. But the fact that they're safer doesn't want to tell you, go let the kids start smoking them, and you're better off people who are reasonably addicted to tobacco going through the conventional smoking cessation programs where you've got support groups, you know, you've got the nicotine patches and the nicotine gum. They have a drug, Chantix, that lowers your desire for nicotine. You're a lot safer if you aren't getting the nicotine boost from that cigarette, but if that's the only way that'll do it for you, use it.
Okay, so because I went into a vape shop one time because I didn't know anything about them. I wanted to know how it worked, so I went in there and I asked, you know, I looked at all the e-cigarettes or whatever they are, and then they had all of the juice or whatever it is.
The stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the stuff.
90 different flavors, almost like the
yes,
almost like Tupelo tea in there.
Yeah, but the thing is they had a non-nicotine and a nicotine, so you can get it. It doesn't have nicotine, so I guess. So I don't know a whole lot about it. If you get the
non-nicotine, that the person who's tobacco addicted won't use it, and it won't be used to diminish their smoking because they're not getting the nicotine hit.
Well, listen, I'm really not interested in cigarettes. I'm not interested in electronic cigarettes. but I don't want people to talk about my cigars. As long as we don't go there, we'll be safe.
We're fine.
All right?
All right, good.
Okay, now I have this last question, and this is interesting because I have friends that, well, let me just get to the question. Does grape juice, because we've always heard red wine has benefits for your heart. So does actual grape juice offer the same heart benefits as red wine?
I love the question because
You won't dance as much, but...
Paul Harvey used to advertise Welch's grape juice.
Right.
And he used to advertise it as having the same, and listen very carefully, because Paul Harvey was right on. It has the same antioxidant properties as red wine, which has nothing to do with the beneficial effects of the red wine upon the heart. Because where people talk about wine and the heart is that evidence that 1 or 2 modest drinks per day lowers the incidence of coronary heart disease. That effect is the alcohol effect, not the effect of the antioxidant in, oh, and by the way, it's only purple grape juice, not grape juice not grape juice that has been dyed.
Exactly.
Much grape juice you buy is actually white grapes that they dye purple. So you got to really get to the label and know that it was purple grape juice. Now, so to answer the question, it has the same antioxidant property as red wine, but not the same protective property to the heart. And lastly, it has been shown that the antioxidant properties of these things is 0 compared to the use of statin drugs, which we've discussed many times. So people think, okay, I'm going to drink 2 glasses of wine a day. I'm going to get the 4-ounce glass. I'm going to do exactly like the American Heart Association says, and then I don't need my Lipitor, or I don't need my Crestor, or whatever it is. The answer is no. The alcohol benefit would only be added to the benefit that you get from the cholesterol drug, which is way up here. So you get your first benefit from the cholesterol drug, a little bit more from the alcohol, and you get hardly nothing from the grape juice.
But
you get a big one from jogging, though.
But the benefit of grape juice is there for the...
Yeah, but it's awfully tiny.
No, but it's not the same comparison when we're talking about the same benefits. So
right,
it's
right.
the antioxidants in the
antioxidants
grapefruit.
in purple
purple
grape juice equal the antioxidants in red wine, but the benefit of the red wine for the heart's not the color.
There's so many people out there that's really excited to hear that the benefit of the red wine is the alcohol.
That's correct.
Wait, don't want to gloss over that, right? That's the benefit of it. Whoa, all right. So I've been missing out on that benefit all these years. Maybe if I looked at it as a benefit, I would think it.
I don't. You know, there are guys like Ray. You know, that you can say, Ray, you ought to have a little bit of wine. You know, I don't want to prescribe wine or alcohol for people who don't like it, or who have any reason that they think they shouldn't for any ethical, moral teaching, or who makes them feel bad or anything else. But I also want to give permission to the people whose mama told them they shouldn't drink and who like a little sip of red wine every once in a while. It's going to bring me to the next topic here in a minute that I wanted to get to before
we're
we
going
ran
to.
out of time.
Yeah, no, you're going to.
You know, I got time. So
all right.
Anyhow, so let's move forward to the idea of the pregnant woman not drinking.
Okay.
Because this is really important, and this was just published this week, and it again came from a European study. Everybody knows this. When I went to medical school on a research fellowship in obstetrics, and I did research in OBGYN for 5 years. And we used to give women in premature labor IV alcohol to stop the labor. So alcohol was a therapeutic agent to diminish premature labor that we were using in the most scientific obstetrical academic institutions in the country. And in that next 7 or 8 years, not because of that, the kids with the funny looking eyes and the kids with the funny ears and the mental retardation and so forth and the small brain size that is fetal alcohol syndrome began to be recognized. So I graduated from medical school in 1966. Fetal alcohol syndrome was recognized between then and the mid-1970s, and that's when the admonition, don't drink at all, came about. And it's been there then for 30 or 40 years. So the question was raised, what happens if you allow somebody to have 1 or 2 alcoholic beverages a week of reasonable size? Is that safe? And I think the general bias and consensus was, before the trial was done, gosh, that seems pretty reasonable. It's not much alcohol, 1 or 2 drinks. But it turns out it's associated with a 25% increase in prematurity and a 20% increase in small birth weight and smaller heads. So just a tiny dose of alcohol during pregnancy, which many people have said over the last few years without any data probably is okay, is not okay. So this is the first time you've heard it. It's like the Zika you heard from back. You heard it here first. Well, you'll hear about this really quickly, I think. So this says the pregnant woman should not drink any alcohol while pregnant. There. Now, does that mean she can't go to somebody's wedding and have 1 glass of alcohol in a whole 9-month pregnancy? I'm not going to get into that, but the conclusion was, and I'll come back to this again in a minute, conclusion was there is no known entry point for safety, meaning that up to here it's safe and above there it's not safe. We used to use the same argument about radiation exposure when you are around sources of radiation. That's why we wear the radiation badge in medicine. Well, that radiation badge in medicine over the 50 years I've been in it has gone from a dose like this when I first started down to a dose like that, because what we've learned now is there is no safe dose of radiation to be exposed to, period. Now, it's acceptable to get some chest x-rays and CAT scans when that benefit of the test is outweighed by the hazard of the test, but there really isn't a safe dose of radiation, and there appears to be no safe dose of alcohol for pregnant women.
Okay. Well, we heard that here first, folks. No safe dose of alcohol for pregnant women.
There you go. Write that down so you can get it on the Facebook.
Dr. Whaley said it. Put it down. Put it out there. Okay, Dr. Whaley, at this point, and we're getting close to 8:45, but we still have plenty of time. Is there anything that in the medical field out there, or anything going on that you've been keeping an eye on that you want to share with the viewers this morning?
I really do. The hit of this whole day is your pet of the week, right? That's the big thing about it.
Oh yeah, that's my week.
That's the big deal.
I can't wait for my
pet of the week. Sam, you got to listen to this. Pet of the week. All right, now there was I have a pillowcase in my house that our housekeeper got, says sleeps with dogs, because my dog I've had 15 years starts out the night under my arm like this, and at 5 o'clock this morning when I got up, was over there Jane's side, cuddled up to Jane. There was a study published yesterday about the effect of letting an animal sleep in the bed with you versus sleeping in the room with you. Okay?
Okay.
So
this is a good topic.
This is a great topic. Yes. All right. So what they did was they put monitors on the dog and monitors on the owner that measured sleep quality and movement and so forth. And you have a 20% reduction in beneficial sleep and an increase in involuntary movement when your dog is in the bed with you, regardless of what part of the king-size bed he's in. The dog has the same kind of monitor on him, and he gets the same quality of sleep and the same amount of motion whether he's sleeping in the room on the floor or in the bed. Now, if the dog's in the room on the floor, you've got the 20% better sleep. So the fact that we let my dog in my bed means that my sleep is 20% less good than it should be, but my dog's going to stay there.
Well, Sassafras has her own king-size bed at the foot of my bed.
Well, you're
and
getting a good sleep.
And I say, Sassafras, get in the bed, and she goes to the foot of the bed, gets in her bed. So.
All right, so you're getting the beneficial
and then
sleep.
But the
and
difference
you tell
is,
everybody Sassafras getting better sleep
yes,
too.
but every once in a while, I wake up, and Sassafras' snout is on the side of the bed saying, I think we need to talk. I wake up. Wake up.
Well, for that amount of time, your sleep's not as good.
So I understand that. So hey, some people like to have their dog in the bed, and I understand it, and they got little dogs, but it does reduce the quality of the actual sleep you're getting.
It does.
Okay.
I hate to admit it, but my dog's still there.
Still there. Well,
So the cigars are still there too. So we got two sins here we're admitting to.
well, our dog sleeping with our dog. Whoa. Okay.
All right.
All right. Anything else?
That's enough.
That's it?
Yeah.
Are you going to work today?
Yeah.
All right.
You want to know about the bleach and the chronic lung disease and the nurses and the housekeepers? Because I don't want anybody to know that one.
Yeah, well, then wait a
Okay.
minute.
All right.
Yeah,
Sam, I know you guys who spend a lot of time cleaning use various cleaning products, bleach and Pine Sol and everything else. And there are some people who are so compulsive about cleaning that their exposure to those things every day is close to a half an hour or an hour. They did a study in nurses in Europe, and they took 55,000 nurses, so that's not some small number. And of that 55,000 nurses over a period of 10 years, and none of them had chronic lung disease, 600 of the 55,000 got chronic lung disease. And when they were sorting out what was about it, your husband smoke or you live around a coal fire, the thing that they discovered was that group that got the chronic lung disease spent 2.5 times more time in their day using bleach, Pine Sol, and cleaning materials, which tells me that you shouldn't spend so much time keeping your kitchen clean.
Can I ask you a follow-up to that?
Yeah.
Recently, I was visiting my mom at her house, and she was cleaning the bathroom down where like my bedroom is when I come home. And I walked in there, and I almost passed out, and she was in there just like it was normal. Do those folks build up some sort of dependency? Or not
No.
dependency, but
No, they get used to it.
used to it?
Used to it, and their eyes don't water, but they're breathing it, see?
Right.
And if they do that many years, it increases the incidence of chronic, they'll make them cough, they'll have chronic lung disease. So tell her to open the windows, ventilate, and quit trying to be so clean.
Okay, all right. I got to get the All-Star panel, and I haven't seen them. They're world travelers, so I got to
yes.
hear what's going
They're
on in
back
the
from
world.
Paris or
They're going to
something.
give us our international report. We have an international report coming up. You enjoying the truck?
Yeah, I love it.
You love the truck?
Yeah, I still haven't learned how to work everything.
Okay, that's fine. That's the challenge of the day, new button.
right.
So glad to have Dr. Whaley with his tab, and I'm happy to say my doctor brings me some cigars. Thank you very much. You have a nice day. Ask the Doc. We want to thank Georgia Cancer Specialist for this segment and Dr. William Whaley for being with us. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to start an early segment because they're here. I'm ready, and the band is back together. All right. So we're going to be on right after this message. These messages. The political all-star panel, Rick and Bruce, are back. I'm a little nervous of what they have.
Until the pet comes.
They've been rehearsing by themselves for
know.
3 weeks. It's like I haven't
Awful.
been. I don't know what we're getting until the pet comes. Pet of the week. Take us out here, Richie.
Papa's Pizza to Go in downtown Blue Ridge is the best in the area all-you-can-eat buffet. Call ahead or order online now at papaspizzatogo.com. Use our convenient pickup window for the best in pizza, subs, wings, breadsticks, salads, and more. And be sure to check out our lively game room. We serve lunch and dinner, catering available, take out or dine in. Papa's Pizza to Go in Blue Ridge, proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's T-E-A-S. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. Kinty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Fine sterling silver, luxurious baby alpaca and exotic woods. A beautiful selection of exquisitely crafted gifts for all of your special occasions. Visit our website, artesiansilvergifts.com, or follow us on Twitter at Artesian Silver Gifts. Kinty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop in downtown Blue Ridge.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Jacob Bryant. We're up here at Schottenkirk Ford. Just want to let you know we'll be putting on a concert September 16th right here in Jasper, Georgia. Also want to give a big shout out to my boy Billy for selling me this new Ford F-150 FX4, man. Thank you so much. And also, since I'm here, I might as well do a little promotion for them there. Every new truck, you get a brand new Summit Viper deer stand if you're an outdoorsman like me, so maybe show them the deer stand just to prove to them we're not telling them a fib here. So there you go, guys. Come see us September 16th. We love you. Take care.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP, and we're back, and we're at Sycamore Crossing in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. Well, the new Blue Home and Gift, Kinty, the Peruvian store, Tupelo Tea, Sycamore Crossing. What a beautiful place downtown. Nice and cool this morning, but a great Friday morning means it's time for high school football tonight. Our world travelers, if you remember these guys have been gone so long, do you recognize these guys? We have Bruce and Rick.
Fire and Fury.
How you doing, guys?
Really good.
Good.
Are you?
How you been?
You glad to be back in the States?
Yes. Yes.
Did you enjoy your trip?
We did. I did. My wife did. I know the Contis did.
Yep. But after living out of a suitcase for 3 weeks, you know, you kind of just gotta get it all back in the wardrobe.
So,
By the way, how's my hair?
yeah, all right, don't start. Don't start. All
How's
right.
my hair?
Huh?
How's my hair?
Yeah, leave. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I do need a haircut. I need a haircut.
Huh?
Can I borrow your? Could you carry a comb?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I just checking.
Oh, I'm a brush guy. Brush only.
I have a hairbrush and I have a comb. There's
Yep.
brush over here and comb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I go both.
I'm kind of like you, though. I think I need a haircut. I'm getting shaggy.
All right, you're
Been gone for a while.
yeah, okay. Didn't want to go to a foreign barber.
No.
I don't speak the language. Oh, that's what I thought you asked.
I thought you said mohawk.
Yeah, razor cut. No.
Okay, so
There we go.
let's start here. I think this is the top story of the day. You ready?
Yes.
Cleveland Indians have won 22 straight games.
And they still don't have the best record in
yes,
baseball.
exactly. That's the top story. Do you keep waiting for Vaughn to come out of the bullpen?
Just a bit outside.
every time I hear Cleveland Indians, I'm like, wow, I've been seeing the crowd cheer for Wild Thing to come out, and Ricky Vaughn.
Throw him the heater, Ricky.
Give him the heater, Ricky. 22 straight wins. I like my baseball.
Baseball's getting exciting. It's heating up a little bit.
Uh,
Right?
You know, home run, I have some other records, but when you've won 22 straight, you're playing some good baseball.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
you're playing some good
Well,
baseball.
you got a little luck in
you're
there.
playing
too.
as a team.
You got a little luck in there.
Huh?
You can't be 22-0 without a little luck here and
Yeah,
there.
a little luck. That's all right. A little
Forgive
luck.
me.
So,
And then the other end of the spectrum, you know, the Dodgers doing so well, then they lost, 15 out of 16?
Mm-hmm.
So,
But they still have more wins than the Indians do.
yeah, it's a long season.
Yeah.
long
What,
season.
162 games?
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Staying on baseball for just a second, we will get to
We
Democrats.
got the cheaters in Boston.
There you go. That's the
Got
sex
the
subject.
cheaters
What do
in
you think?
Boston.
What do you think?
Huh?
What do you think?
Well,
Stealing signs, electronic. Come on,
Ste-
don't give me that.
stealing
Spin it out.
signs is as old as baseball is. However,
All right.
when there's specific rules that you can't do it electronically, that's a different story, I think. You know, or do you resort to any means you can to cheat? I think maybe that's what they do in NASCAR. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying hard enough, right? I don't know.
Okay.
Well.
Okay. Whoa. So you're saying they have rules in place that you're not supposed to electronically.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't have someone sitting in the clubhouse electronically relaying stuff back to the dugout, and they're all sitting there with their Apple Watches on, and then giving them the high hard one, and they know what's coming.
Can you do that again?
The
All right,
high
I just
hard
want to see.
one.
I want to see if you can do. I just want to see if you can do that twice.
Sure, I can do it 3 times.
No, that wasn't necessary. All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
Ask Richie. I mean, he's been behind.
All
the
right.
dish
What do you
enough.
think, Richie? You think?
He's been behind the dish enough. He knows the drill.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, in between pitches, especially if there's runner on base, I looked at the third base coach the entire game. By the 7th
Right.
inning, I knew if he was given a sign to steal,
Yeah.
Right.
especially in the series.
But you
That's
knew
the
it.
old- that's the old-fashioned way,
You
though.
were picking up the signs.
That's the old-fashioned
Right,
way.
but I think it's such a common thing that it's just natural, especially in Major League Baseball now. You have a member of the coaching staff in the clubhouse checking the review board, because they have instant replay now. So,
Right.
So, I mean, what else does that guy have to do the whole game?
Well, let me put it like this. Okay, good
But
conversation.
I agree with you, though.
We'll get to Democrats in a minute. So I'm with you on that. So you're right, but I go to high school baseball games, and the guy that goes to the corner of the dugout and sits on the bucket, and he's going like this, he's going like this, and the catcher's over there looking in the dugout. Half of your job on the other side is to try to pick up their signs. I mean, to me, that's part of baseball.
It's part of baseball.
Try
I
to
agree
figure
with
out
you.
when
I
they're
agree
going to
with you.
steal.
Yeah.
When the guy gives
exactly.
the guy gives 2 of these, and and then goes, and one of those. Would you stop it? So so we're still inside. You guys,
Are we in the wrong season? I mean, should we be talking football? I mean, baseball. You know, it's
no. But then take everything electronically out of the game. Everything. Don't allow the TVs in the dugout because they're up there. They're up there and they're hitting instant replay right there in the dugout. Take every piece of electronic device out of the game. Take it out of the TV where they framed in and you could see what the pitch was on the corner. Take the umpire helmet cam off. Take the instant replay off. Let the umpire blow the damn play and just go on.
The electronic scoreboard. Throw that away.
Not that. Oh yeah, we could have the guy behind there sliding down the. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Put the guy back to work.
Just like Wrigley.
Bruce, either add something constructive to the.
I'm not a baseball guy. Let's talk about soccer.
All right, we will. Well, you with me? Take everything out because I'm not okay that they steal the signs electronically, especially as Boston stealing. I'm not okay.
And
with
they did it
but-
against the Yankees.
Right.
I'm just saying. That's
Just
what they
saying.
got.
And didn't something happen this week about like an umpire got knocked down or something by some team, and the other team said they did it on purpose? And I saw something on that. But
All right.
never mind.
Moving along.
Moving right along.
I know you guys have been traveling, and I'm glad you're home. And I mean, you brought so many documents. Should we
I
like
bring
to
that
do
all
a
the
whole
time.
segment? And you got documents?
That's
you
just
wanna-
coal folio.
No, that's
That
what
goes
I
with you,
that's
right?
what I end up with.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
my
All
closing
right,
thought.
Trump making deals with Democrats, Chuck and Nancy, eating dinner with them, macaroni and cheese. I don't know what they're doing. What do you think of all that?
Wait, this happened while we were away?
Yes.
Trump's a Democrat
No.
What do you think? Just give me your general.
Jump the
You
shark.
got the floor. What do you think?
Okay, I'm gonna go back to Rush's show yesterday when he had a caller, and I immediately flashed on you and flashed on Frank, I think. She called in and she said, "I'm telling you, the guy is 3 moves ahead of the competition. He's got them in there for a reason. He's setting something up." And all I could flash on was he's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. I don't know if that's the case, but there's someone else out there that is calling in and getting through to Rush and saying the same thing. Does that ring true to you? Does that? I mean, I haven't extrapolated it any further to say, okay, where would he go with this, and why is he meeting with them other than to put pressure on the GOP, which he obviously has through their reaction. So, that's kind of my take at this point. I don't know if he's setting all of these pieces in place to pull off the grand end game.
So how concerned are you with him meeting with them and apparently making some of these deals? How do you feel about that, Bruce?
Well, again, I haven't been obviously very close to what he's been saying and the outcomes of these, but yeah, I mean, if he's a deal guy, so I mean, if
you do know when you go on a trip, you're still supposed to pay attention.
No.
Okay.
If you can't get results here by pushing here, you go over here and you try this. So I think he's just like Rick said, trying to find a chink in the armor to get something moving and done.
His end game is
Results.
put my agenda in place. I don't care how we get there, just get it done. And I think that's maybe why he's going to what some would say would be the dark side.
Well, okay. What about the Dreamers? DACA. Why did I say DACA? There's no DRA. I always say that. DACA. What about the Dreamers? DACA.
What about him?
What do you think? What do you think about him bringing Chuck and Nancy in? What do you think about DACA?
Well, he basically
BKV says
reversed
DACA.
Obama's ruling and basically said to the Congress, you got 6 months to make this, more reasonable or sensible. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, but he made him. He supposedly has a deal with Chuck and Nancy. What do you think?
He supposedly.
He refuted that.
He's all over the board with it. I will say this: he's all over the board with it. I mean,
The master of
one
perception.
One tweet he's got a great deal, and it's going to be good for all Americans. And how do you want to kick out all of these kids that are educated and bright and have jobs? And then on the next tweet, no, I never said amnesty. What do you think we do? Let's forget about Trump.
I thought he concentrated more on, no, I'm still going to build the wall. Some came out and said that he caved on the wall to get a little bit of pushback.
But when is he going to build the? When is he going to? Is he going to continue to lose his leverage to get the funding he wants to build this wall?
Well, that's the $64,000 question. You're right.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of background stories going on in terms of getting the funding, somehow in this bill or that bill, or tacking it into the budget or something. So I think he's working on it. But, again, some of the GOP.
Working on it.
Yeah, the GOP, hasn't really been that helpful. They seem to be looking for an all-in, very inclusive solution. And I think, it's going to be bits and pieces. It's not going to be a total comprehensive thing.
I think it was brilliant that Jeff Sessions, I think this is the way it worked, he basically talked him into, hey, throw it back to the lawmakers and give them 6 months. So now they're on a March 1 TikTok to get immigration reform bipartisan back online.
All right, so let's drill it down to not what took place in the last week. We know President Donald Trump had dinner. Chinese food was the menu. My understanding. No, it's my understanding. What's so funny?
You could have had Korean food. I
know Chinese was the menu. I think it's important.
Were chopsticks used?
That's what I was getting at. We want to know. That's what I was saying. Was it kung pao chicken, or was it what was it? Lo mein or fried rice? I want to hear preferences. Anyhow, they had dinner. Nancy's there. Nancy is there, and Chuck is there, and
is it true she put the boys in their place?
That's what I'm hearing.
Told them to zip it?
That's what I'm hearing. But then again, so they're there, they have dinner, and they come out, and they're smiling from ear to ear, and they've got a deal on Drucker, and Schumer runs to the camera, and him and Nancy say they've rolled the president, and they've got a great deal. Let's forget all of that. What do you do? What is your solution? Now, in 2012, let's put it like this, President Barack Obama, let's be clear, President Barack Obama signed an executive order which was an overreach in his office, but he created immigration policy. So, Mike, DACA, what's the acronym for again?
DACA.
DACA. Where do I get the A from? Where do I get the DACA. Where do I get extra A? What's the acronym again for? Deferred action, whatever. So
what it basically does is it sets the parameters for all of the 800,000 that are here illegally that were brought by their parents,
right,
that are under the age of 31 as of June 12th, 2007, or 2012, excuse me.
Right.
They have to have a college education. They have to be honorably discharged. They have to have a high school education. Or let's see, what are some of the other parameters? I can't remember them all, but that kind of gives you the gist of it. And they have to go back and they have to apply every 2 years to keep their status. And if now they're not accepting those anymore. They're not accepting any of those deferments anymore.
So what we're setting up is in 2012, President Barack Obama actually, through executive order, created immigration policy, which this branch cannot do. And what President Trump is saying, I'm ending that, but I'm going to make the legislative body, the actual process that's supposed to work.
Right.
If your lawmakers say they're going to do it, those are your lawmakers, and you can vote for them back home, whether you like their decision or not. Right? So that's what he's going to do. He's going to kick it back there. So, all that said, Rose, do you have something on social media or something?
I sure do.
What? Check my text. I don't have. Where's my phone at?
Right here.
Oh, I got a couple of them.
Who knew?
Deferred action for childhood arrival.
Yeah. Deferred action for childhood arrival. Is that my phone? Can you get
Maybe.
Get my phone for me there, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Vanna.
You turn those letters very well.
Thank you.
I thought he was talking
All right,
about me.
I got to check the text. She said to check the text. We have something. Okay. Which one? The Trump
4 minutes ago.
All right, the one that says chain migration cannot be allowed to be part of any legislation on immigration?
Chain migration.
Yeah, chain migration cannot be allowed to be a part of any legislation on immigration. And that was the RAISE Act, and that is what our Senator David Perdue said with the RAISE Act, this chain, somebody gets in and now there's a chain that comes in. Okay, I want to get to my question. Thank you, Rose. I want to get to my question when we framed all that up. What does Bruce do? What's your opinion? What's your opinion of what you do legislatively for, let's say, these kids? Let's put it like that. And what do you do?
Well, can you clarify for me? The 800,000 kids were born here, or they were brought here?
No, brought over.
They were brought here.
Brought
so
here.
none of them were born here.
No,
Because-
we're not talking about naturalized citizenship.
Okay,
I'm not talking about that.
I just wanted to be
Talking
sure.
about the Dreamer Act.
The Dreamers.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. You put them in a box, you label them, and they have special requirements to go through to become citizens.
Put them in a box. Do you poke a hole so they can breathe?
Yes, of course.
That was a metaphor.
I understood it, but I was just like I was getting a visual. Get in the box. Get in the box.
They get a card that's got some stamp or color or something on it that identifies them as dreamers.
You do let them stay.
Yeah, and you work out some program where they can qualify for citizenship.
You do that.
Yes,
Okay.
I would.
And you?
I would modify that one way, and I would.
We're sending it into conference committee. This is how the process
This is how
works.
the process
He's
is
put
supposed
it
to
out.
work.
It's going into conference.
Yeah, I think the Democrats are looking for more votes, and that's their whole purpose. So let's just say, okay, you can stay, but you can't vote. We're going to let you stay. We're going to give you your work permits. You're going to have a process that you go through to be here legally, but you know what? You can't vote for 15 years until the swamp is cleaned or until the current. I'd tie some voting.
Okay.
The Dems will never go for that.
That's
They'll
my
go
point.
crazy.
See,
They'll
that's their
go
whole point.
crazy.
They're
Okay,
looking. They're
but
looking
will
for
you let
votes.
them stay?
I think it's very, very difficult at this point in time to just ship 800,000. You've got to round them up first. That's going to be difficult.
Okay, you
in
put
and
them
of
in a
itself.
box, and now I have a vision
Now,
of
you
a
got to
roundup.
catch them first before you put them in.
And they're not going to leave without their families.
Yeah,
So it's not
yeah,
800,000.
yeah,
It's a multiple of 800. 'Cause
Right.
They're not going to leave without their
So
families.
exactly. So we have
So you're
chain
talking in the millions.
migration.
You're talking in the
right?
Chain, chain,
Yeah.
chain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's over 3
So
million.
put some stipulations.
Yep.
You know, if they're here,
I will say this.
if they're contributing to society, paying taxes, put some stipulations to get in line just like everybody else is doing it legally, and go through the process.
I think one of the concerns here is obviously the media is going to turn this into the cruelty of us ripping children and us doing this to these kids, and they're productive members of society, but they don't tell the whole story that, okay, once we do something legislatively for 800,000, and what we do not talk about is how many of the 800,000 rushed in here that actually have criminal offenses or in a gang, but they ran and signed up for the DACA because they could, right?
Yep.
So they did that. So out of the 800,000, how many are legitimately, it should be recipients of the program? So try to frame it to where it's,
Well, maybe that's the first domino when you're
and then
standing in line.
and then
you got to make sure
you got to have a
make
list.
sure
You
that
got to
all
have
of
the
the
criteria.
qualifications
Yes,
are met.
absolutely. Then second, what the media will not talk about is the attachments, meaning Uncle Jose, okay, Aunt Marielle. I mean, seriously, and that's not a joke. I'm not using. But the attachments is what, because watch and see what they will write. They'll write a piece of legislation that has chain migration, and that's what he's talking about this morning, chain migration. They'll have a piece of legislation. So what they're saying, when you hear 800,000, you're hearing about 3.5 million.
Just like the chain on the temporary ban on immigration.
Right.
They put the chain on that. uncles, aunts,
That's
The
why,
grandmothers.
that's why they
Second,
that's
third
why-
cousins.
That's why the media that I despise goes with separating families, tearing families apart. Tearing families apart. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to come back. What do you guys think of Steve Bannon's 60-minute interview? You didn't watch it? Darn, I'll have to tell you all about it right after these messages.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. Broken Bull, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing, is locally owned and operated. Our Simply Noel selection is the largest around. We have a great selection of unique clothing and several lines to choose from for men and women. We carry a beautiful variety of handmade jewelry from Blessed Be and others. All kinds of gifts, starting to carry shoes this fall as well. Come visit us on your next trip to Blue Ridge. We can't wait to meet you at Broken Bull, located in downtown Blue Ridge.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Ellijay Fitness Center, located at 379 River Street in Ellijay. Open 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. Locally owned and operated by Mark and Amy Woodring. Now offering sport-specific training to young athletes. Doesn't matter the sport. If you want to excel, let us help you be your best. Call or come by today for customized programs. 706-636-2348. Ellijay Fitness Center, your local and friendly health club. A place where everybody is somebody.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Be sure to check out New Blue Home and Gift, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Find us on Twitter at New Blue Home. Everything beautiful for your home or a special gift can be found at New Blue Home and Gift. Call us today at 706-455-3873 or visit us at 531 East Main Street, Suite 103 in downtown Blue Ridge.
Two.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. Broken Bull, New Blue Home and Gift, Kinty, the Peruvian store, and Tupelo Tea. It's a little cool this morning, but what does that mean? In September, it'll be a nice, cool night for high school football in North Georgia. I tell you what, you know, guys, you know the pet of the week I look forward to all week, but it's this time of year, you're going to have to drag me off the sideline. I will make this statement on live worldwide TV, because there's people that click
Worldwide TV.
And for those people watching in California, we found we have viewers in California.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay? Yeah, we checked it out. So for those of you in California, if the good Lord is willing, we'll leave it in His hands. I will be on the sideline watching high school football every Friday night until I can't go anymore. It's just something I enjoy on Friday nights.
I'm waiting for you to get clocked again over about the 40
Thanks a lot. You do. Hey,
Jeez, did you see it coming?
Huh? No. Do you know I got
Blindsided.
I finally got the corner of the kid.
I know, I watched it.
Oh yeah. I looked at it and said, I've been
By the
waiting
way,
on you.
As he sheepishly sunk into his seat.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to.
That was good.
He is a great kid.
Yeah.
Union County, Cole right up there, Union County Panthers. All right.
Breitbart. Want to go there?
Yeah. Let's go there. Let's frame up Breitbart, but let's go. And if you didn't, this was an extra credit, so don't get worried. It will not hurt your grade, okay, Bruce? But did either of you get the chance, while drinking wine and sailing the Caribbean or wherever you were?
Caribbean.
Oh no, you were
Caribbean.
Oh, all right. This is the path. All right, okay.
Z-
Wherever you're at, stop. Did you get a chance to watch a 60-minute interview with Bannon?
No.
No.
Okay. Steve Bannon let something slip, I think.
In your humble opinion.
I think it was a great interview with Charlie Rose. I watched all the outtake clips that he put up. I watched every bit of it. But the one thing he let slip that told me that they were never going to do it all along was fix Obamacare. He said fix Obamacare. And I'm here to tell you, I think he let that slip, and I think the bipartisan will be fixing what they call fixing Obamacare, and that concerns me. And he also said that he does not like Mitch McConnell. He said Mitch McConnell, and he thinks their very first meeting at Trump Tower, at the end, looked at Donald Trump and said, "You got to stop all this drain the swamp talk. You got to stop all that." Okay. But then he said something interesting. He said, Mitch McConnell was definitely a problem, and Paul Ryan to a degree. He gave Paul Ryan a little bit of room. Okay. But in that interview, he did not take Trump to task. He is on the outside to, he's going to war. So Breitbart. What you were talking in the break? What do you think?
Well, you just flash on a few home pages, and what I saw last night or this morning, I can't remember which one was. They had a series of pictures up that the Trump base is being destroyed. The Ann Coulters of the world are off the chain, deriding everything that Trump is doing right now. I just don't buy that. Well, and I'm surprised to see it on the front page of Breitbart that, all the Make America Great hats, are being unceremoniously torched and,
Yeah, but doesn't that just make for good news? I mean, stir the pot a little, things are quiet.
Okay.
Let's mess with it.
I call it the left on my desk. And I really think the American people, and I say this in my humble opinion.
Be it ever so humble, there's no place like BKP.
I think the American people are going to have to say this. Do you realize what was left on this man's desk? What President Obama, President Clinton, President George W. Bush, but then Obama rounded it out with his beautiful 8 years of, being facetious here. Do you not stop and think of what was left on this man's desk as a mess in this country that has to get cleaned up?
Oh, yeah.
Immigration. How many?
North Korea, Iran.
Do you remember?
Pick your poison.
Exactly. Iran, North Korea. I mean, let's just look at it like this. It's not long ago that Warbler, was that his name? North Korea killed the kid.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Otto Warmbier. Yeah.
Yeah, Otto. I mean, look at what it was on this man's desk. Obamacare. He had on his total shoulders the lies, let's not call it anything else, that Republicans told the American people about repealing Obamacare. So if you want to say, well, Donald Trump got out there and said he will repeal Obamacare, yes, he was carrying the Republican lie. Would you agree?
I would.
Right?
Yes.
And so you look at all this and what was on his desk. Now, do you remember the night? Do you remember the night that George W. Bush came on TV and gave us his immigration speech, of what his plan to fix the immigration problem in this country? Do you remember the speech?
I remember the speech. I don't remember the night.
But you remember he did come out.
Yes.
With it, right?
Yes.
I don't. I don't remember it.
All right, you're okay. You'll be okay. But you don't remember that Bush did the speech. You don't remember.
Yeah.
But you remember Bush came out with a plan.
Yeah, but I don't
right?
remember the content.
I remember the speech. I remember that night coming out with the speech, and he laid everything out, George W. Bush, of how they'd have to do this and they would have to do this, and he had everything laid out. Okay, and it blew up on him. All right, and it didn't work. But guess what? That is the point I'm making. That was George W. Bush before Barack Obama, and that is on his desk today. There's nothing been solved on immigration.
Right. Yeah. Go back further. Social Security. It's still a mess.
My opinion on
the debt.
DACA, right? The debt. I mean,
that's a mess.
The debt is a mess. Everything's laid on the guy's desk. So go back to DACA. I think he says, "Hey, let's get some of these things off my desk, and then I can get some other things done." I don't know.
Well, he followed the right route, like you said before, to put it back to the legislature to have them do what they're supposed to do.
Do it the right way. And I think the end game is he's really looking for a tax cut. He's really looking for tax reform.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion. You know, he came out with a little bit of a statement from the airplane, from Air Force One yesterday. I think that's where all of this stuff is pointing, is got to get that done. Got to get that's paramount.
I think there's a plan, and I think there's a big plan, and I don't think Steve Bannon left the White House not knowing the plan.
That's probably true.
Because they still talk. Okay, so you didn't get to hear why Chris Christie did not get a cabinet post?
No.
It's the Billy Bush weekend, okay? And this is the best clip you have to go watch. Billy Bush weekend. The Access Hollywood video comes out. So Trump calls everybody in a room. It's Saturday, I think, or something. He calls them all in a room, okay? And they go around. The core people go around, and Previs says you're going to get beat in a landslide. He wanted to know what everybody thought of his chances now. So Previs says you're going to get beat in a landslide. You're going to get beat. You're going to get slaughtered. You're going to get beat in a landslide. I don't see no way out of this. Okay.
Yep.
So everybody's going around giving their opinion. Got the Bannon. Bannon was last. He said, "You will win," and I'm 100%. I'm 100. He asked them to give the percentage of what they thought of his chances of winning. Bannon got to Bannon. Bannon said 100%. He actually said, Bannon said, this is really the only time the president got angry with him. Okay? It got angry. It said, "No, are you serious?" It said, "Yes. You have to go after this. You have to come back as hard. You have a 100% chance." So at this time,
what about Christie now?
Here we're getting to this. So this time, everybody's a nervous wreck of their political future.
Yeah.
So Bannon has the black book, and he looked at everybody, and he said, "Plane leaves tomorrow at 11. On the plane, on the team." And he said, quote, he said, "Christie didn't make the plane."
Ah.
Period. So Bannon, because at this time Bannon's in charge. Bannon and Kellyanne, they're really and Bannon told everybody, because everybody was concerned about their political future and, oh my God, Donald Trump's done this, and should I go on MSNBC for a week and denounce Donald Trump and and this and that and.
But he didn't say why he wasn't on the plane. Did that come out in the interview?
Oh yeah, no, it didn't come out in the interview. But if you were watching at that time, Donald Trump, Christie went and was totally negative on Trump, where he jumped on the bandwagon of all the politicians that this is unacceptable, you can't talk like
disgraceful.
this. Right.
Okay.
So he jumped on that back. But instead, what I'm saying is Steve Bannon said, plane leaves tomorrow at 11, on the plane, on the team. And he just said Christie didn't make the plane.
What about, speaking of New Jersey, what's going on since we've been away? What's going on with the senator? Menendez?
I don't know. They don't write articles on that. See, he's a Democrat. Washington Post, was it Washington Post or New York Times? They wrote a 900-word article on Robert Menendez in New Jersey, a senator, Democrat. They just forgot to put Democrat in the article.
Oh.
Yes.
Glaring omission.
Yes.
Glaring omission.
Forgot that. For us, my policy is to put the D the first time you mention a person. So, and then through there, it's up to you to have the smarts, I guess.
So nothing going on with him other than the fact that he's on trial, he's locked in.
They're not going to let him sit in the Senate.
To vote?
Yeah, he tried to get a waiver to let him go vote, and they said no.
So he got nixed.
There was a lot of fireworks between him and the lawyer. The judge actually told his lawyer to shut up in court.
Nice.
So he can't vote. Okay.
Anything new on Debbie Blabbermouth Schultz? What about her?
No. Don't try to take another direction. I got some other things to do.
What about Susan Rice?
Hey, you got something?
Yeah, big news yesterday.
What was it?
Huge news.
Well, I missed it.
I mean, that
the
everything
unmasking
that she said was a lie about not
Really?
knowing anything about the unmasking. Come on.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I just wondered.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm with you, but I'm like, really? It's big news.
You got bigger fish to fry.
No, I'm with you on that. I get.
We're
to
just
the
trying
point.
to catch up in speed
No.
mode.
But you say, what about this big news? Everything she said on the unmasking was a lie. Really?
What'd you expect?
She went on the morning shows and lied, and we have 4 people dead. She lies all the time.
But let me tell you what's not a lie.
I don't. You understand?
22 wins by the Indians.
That's not a lie.
That is not a lie.
That's in the record books. Okay. No. Here's one thing. I do not think Steve Bannon left the White House not knowing the plan. Okay? Something here is going to come together. I think what Trump is doing is he's exposing some things that's going to make the Republicans have to go home and answer for in 2018 election. Now, one thing that you should watch is Breitbart is actually putting up candidates, and this is not getting covered by the media. Okay? Now, are they actually putting them up? I don't know the details. But you take the Pennsylvania 15th district that Charlie Dent just retired from, or said he will not seek his 8th term. Breitbart has a candidate there. There's a Breitbart candidate there. So you're going to start seeing Breitbart's jumped on board with Roy Moore. Okay, Roy Moore will be the next senator from Alabama. Okay, Breitbart is putting in Steve Bannon, a.k.a. Breitbart. They are going through, and I'm not for sure that Donald Trump and Steve Bannon do not have this crazy plan that's not understandable to the naked eye. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And was it
3 steps ahead?
Was there some talk about them maybe starting a network?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, Bannon
that gets a little complicated, but
Bannon said something else of interest that I like, because reality is this is bigger than Donald Trump. If you voted for Donald Trump thinking he could drain the swamp in 8 years, you weren't in reality. And Bannon said in the interview, this is going to take 10, 15, 20 years. Okay? So what we have to realize is Donald Trump will leave office without the swamp drained. He has to start working around all the points. So every time Donald Trump does something and it doesn't have the optics of draining the swamp, it doesn't mean that's not what he's interested in. It is going to take, and like Bannon said, the swamp is 50 years in the making.
Oh, yeah.
And he called the swamp a successful business model on the interview.
Well, yeah, you look at like
Right.
the IRS and some of those agencies, the VA, they try to fire these people, and they have to hire them back because of the civil service rules. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And you've already...
When they let them unionize?
Yeah, what other industry has those kind of protections?
And we've already seen the firing at the VA, which there was no firing period. We've already had an opportunity to see EPA regulations roll back. I mean, there are things that are happening, and if you're sitting here and DACA's on the man's desk, something has to happen. I mean, they got to do something. Okay, we can't just go from, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, and then 8 years, and 7 years from now, put it on somebody else's desk.
Yeah.
Got to do something in this country.
Yeah.
So it's on his desk, but the same people that are burning the "Make America Great Again" hat. I wish they would look at West Virginia and coal.
There you go.
Right? I mean, just in this short time, 7 months, that industry has turned around in just a matter of time with EPA and being able to get permits where they couldn't before. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the 2018 has to be Trump 2.0. It has to be. We have to go out. We have to get candidates to support Donald Trump's agenda. We don't have them. Okay?
I agree with what you said early on in the show. I watched the first few minutes when you started out, and you said the same people that are sitting having macaroni and cheese or whatever with him are the ones that are going to be first to recommend impeachment.
Nancy Pelosi becomes Speaker of the House. Articles of impeachment will happen the next day, and the bipartisan Democrats that are supporting him now will be the ones that help vote for it. Now, let me say this, okay? We have to have Trump 2.0. Let's put it into sports, okay?
Okay.
Let's do
Love sports analogies.
All right,
Here we go.
Soccer for you. Which one you want? Baseball? Whatever.
Baseball's good.
The point is, the team is losing. They're losing. It's just terrible. Okay? So you hire a new coach. And you tell the coach, go in there, it's your team. Your team. And turn out a winning team for me. And then you go in as the coach, you look around, you say, okay, my defense is lacking. Guess what? I need a new defensive coordinator. Okay? You get the team given to you. All right? It's there when you get there.
Yep.
Okay? And then you turn around and say, there's only so much I can do with this team. I mean, I have the talent. You start to analyze, I have the talent, it's not being coached well. Okay? Is that what's happening here? Or do I not have the proper support staff around me? Is that what's not happening here? Or do I not have the talent no matter how great a coach I am and no matter what happens? Okay?
Yeah.
That's what happened to Donald Trump with the Republicans in the Senate and the House. The new coach went in, and the team that was given to him is not interested in playing for him. Now, how many years have you seen if you're either going to play for a coach or you're not? Now, I don't know if it's making any sense, but they're not going to. They were not. The Republicans were not interested for playing for this coach. You agree?
That's a good analogy.
They weren't interested.
No.
Yeah.
So what do you got to do? You got to trade them. Trading deadline's coming up. Let's keep it in the trading deadline's coming up. 2/18, right? 2018 is the trading deadline, right?
Yeah.
Right. So on that day, when we'll just do it like a sports show. The trading deadline's coming up. So we've got to trade a lot of players, right?
Yeah.
You with me? Bottom line, because we got to go. It's like, but here's what we can't do. We can't bet the whole farm on Ricky Williams, Mike Ditka. I don't know, man.
Where did that come from?
It came from New Orleans one year. That's exactly where it came from.
We can't trade all our draft
That's
picks.
right. I'll give you 41 of my best players for Ricky Williams.
And a bag.
And a bag, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
We got to trade the players.
Yeah.
The Republicans are not.
Republicans are a bunch of high-priced individual player prima donnas.
Right.
They don't have a team about them. Bruce talks every time we're on this show about the Democrats play as a team, the Republicans play as individuals.
Hey, Republicans are like stay with sports. They're like the sports guy that should be retiring that keeps getting a contract extension.
Yeah.
And it's not helping the team. You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, we could put it into all kinds of, but
vernaculars.
2018, we have to. What did I say a long time ago? And I know you remember this. That Donald Trump may be the first president, okay, in a party that actually will help put up primary candidates in his own party and campaign against the incumbent. Remember that?
Yeah, sure.
Is it happening?
Well, every time he needs something, he puts around the people that are on the chopping block right next to him.
Right. So, all right, we've got to get to our star of the show, Pet of the Week, and I do want to have a couple words on high school football before we close. So, Bruce, tell us a little bit about your trip or what you brought with us today. Or?
We had a great trip, talked to a lot of people from different parts of Europe and other parts of the world. And again, the consensus on Trump, I would say, was pretty good. They said this guy from South Africa said, I like what he's doing, but he's rough. He's like a diamond in the rough, he said. And so that sort of sums up. There were some people that were very afraid of him. Nuclear cowboy kind of warmonger. But by and large, I think most of them are giving him time, wait and see. Because we think he has some good ideas. It's just, can he accomplish things?
So we're not totally disconnected with the world because of Donald Trump?
No.
Good. I really have. I've told people on the show, jokingly, that you guys were on assignment to see where we stood in the world. So thank you for that report, Bruce.
We got no fights or anything.
Thank you for that report.
Yeah, I'll save my factoids for next week.
Oh, you can, if you want to throw out a fact.
Okay, I'll just give you one.
One, Bruce, come on.
Bridget,
Everybody's wondering what's in the folder. You can't leave.
Bridget Gabriel does Act for America. She's a very competent gal. She said, what most people don't know about immigration, the refugees, offshore refugees, it's the United Nations that determines which refugees we accept. And incredibly, if these refugees have an affiliation with a terrorist organization, it's not a disqualifier. Come on in.
Come on down.
How stupid is that?
You can be the next citizen in Germany. Anyway, we've got two women overseas that are kind of on the hot seat. May and Merkel.
May and Merkel.
Yeah, that's what I
Sounds
get.
like I can do
They're
commercial.
really
You
on
can
the
do
hot
commercials.
seat.
Yeah.
The other thing that's not being reported over here.
May and you picked that up. May
Absolutely.
and Angela.
Angela Merkel and Theresa May.
And Theresa May.
Theresa May.
They picked up on that, and that's headlines all over the place constantly. The other thing that's not being reported over here, which I think is going to be a really tough battle, is the Brexit thing has really thrown the airline industry into some distress because England pulling out, the UK pulling out of Brexit, doing the Brexit move and pulling out of the EU creates all kinds of different issues with landing rights.
Oh, yeah.
And all the airlines over there are on pins and needles wondering what the negotiation is going to be. So that Britain and British Airways and some of the other home-based carriers,
Ryanair,
right,
big one,
are able to go into these other EU countries without repercussion, without some serious penalties. So that's not being reported here, but it's a big deal over there.
Well, we're glad to have you guys back. Glad to have you home. And I know you enjoyed the trip.
We did.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I don't have
A lot of countries in 12 days.
Yep.
We spent 3 days in Russia. Russia was a really interesting place to visit. And you really, it's glaring, the two different, the dichotomy of the rich versus the poor, because that's all there are. I don't see any semblance of a middle class over there. Now, I might have missed something.
So
I
you
was
admitted
only
that you
there
were in
3 days.
You've admitted that you were in Russia for 3 days?
I have.
Yeah.
I've admitted that.
Make a note that we
it's on
call
my passport.
Robert Mueller immediately after the show.
Mueller.
Yeah. Yeah. They were there for 3 days. Okay, folks, let me finish with this because this is one you're going to like and not like, and you're either going to stay with me or call me a kook, whichever way you.
If you're not on the air,
is it my turn?
If you're not on the airplane, we're not with you. If we're not up there on the airplane.
Hey, look, guys, plane leaves at noon.
That's right.
If you're on the team, you're on the plane.
team. Okay.
All right.
Where are we going?
Okay. Now, if you have been paying attention, because there's always, if all else fails, you've got the Russian collusion / election investigation and Paul Manafort and Michael Flynn. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to leave this with you. Now, Michael Flynn's son, which is also Michael, right, is being looked into with his business ties to Russia and the international business ties that he has. Michael Flynn's son. They're going after Michael Flynn's son and Michael Flynn. Let me tell you why. You ready? What did Michael Flynn's son do?
He's in the pizza business, isn't he?
Is it my damn turn or not?
I'm sorry.
Is it my turn or not? What the hell,
Thought you were
McFly?
asking
Get
the
over
question.
there. No, but I
thought
don't
you were
want to
asking
answer.
the question.
Shut the hell up. What did Michael Flynn's son do? By any chance, he tweeted out Pizzagate. Remember? That's what he did. That's what's got him up in arms. And then what did his dad do? He retweeted it. Don't forget that. As you see them take down Michael Flynn's son and Michael Flynn, don't forget two things. When you believe it or not, and you call me out there in left field, Pizzagate. Don't forget that. Don't forget it. I'm your host, BK. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. You understand? Right. Thank you, Bruce. Bruce, you
Thank
understand.
you,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This one over here, we're going to have a spin away. It's time for Pet of the Week. Let's go.
Ricky Bones going to take us to break.
Yeah, Ricky.
Alrighty.
Over here, dog over there.
Okay.
11:30 at Pete's.
Yeah, okay.
Papa's Pizza to Go in downtown Blue Ridge is the best all-you-can-eat buffet. Call ahead or order online now at papaspizzatogo.com. Use our convenient pickup window for the best in pizza, subs, wings, breadsticks, salads, and more. And be sure to check out our lively game room. We serve lunch and dinner, catering available. Dine in. Papa's Pizza to Go in Blue Ridge, proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. The Peruvian Shop, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Fine sterling silver, luxurious baby alpaca and exotic woods. A beautiful selection of exquisitely crafted gifts for all of your special occasions. Visit our website, artesiansilvergifts.com, or follow us on Twitter at artesiansilvergifts. Kenty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian Shop in downtown Blue Ridge.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Jacob Bryant. We're up here at Shottenkirk Ford. Just want to let you know we'll be putting on a concert September 16th right here in Jasper, Georgia. Also want to give a big shout out to my boy Billy for selling me this new Ford F-150 FX4, man. Thank you so much. And also, since I'm here, I might as well do a little promotion for them there. Every new truck, you get a brand new Summit Viper deer stand if you're an outdoorsman like me, so maybe show them the deer stand just to prove to them we're not 16th. We love you. Take care.
Yes, it's time for the star of the show, the one and only. Is this your first? Do you give kisses? Do you give kisses?
Ask Sam. He gives kisses, all right.
This is Buddy from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. I want to thank them every week. It's time for our pet of the week. This is our friend Buddy. This is also our friend Rena. Sorry. You know, you should at least get a little recognition around here, huh? Huh? You shouldn't get that off your snout. Who do you have with us here? Get kisses. Oh, love it. Give
Lots
pup
of
love
kisses.
it.
There you go.
Give me
There
pup
you
love
go.
it.
This is Buddy. Buddy is just a year. He's a year and 3 weeks. He was a year September 1st. He has been with us since March. We really need to find this little dog a home. He's almost pretty much full grown. He's not going to get too much bigger. He loves to play. He's very curious around here. He rode pretty good in the truck. He was a little bit more nervous than anticipated. But this is his second time here, and he is looking for a home. He really needs a home where he can play with kids, a dog. I mean, we definitely need to do the meet and greet, but he does play with Daytona.
That's what we're doing now.
Yeah, I see that.
This is what this is called. This is called the official meet and greet. You want to hear my song? I wrote a song. Who are the pooches in your neighborhood? And your neighborhood? And your neighborhood?
When he bites you, that means you gotta like the song.
That's right.
The pooches that you meet when you're walking down the street.
You should
The
let them do
pooches
it.
that you meet each day. Boom, boom. Did I do that live?
You did.
I love it.
But as you can tell, Buddy has a little bit of energy.
Pay attention. That
He's
can't
not
be
high
my
energy,
only
but
problem.
he's still puppy, and he's really a good dog. He just really needs someone to.
What did he see?
I don't know.
He's got a snarl up.
Yeah, I know. He kind of growls.
What'd you get your snarl up for?
Oh, there's a person behind.
Oh, you're a protector.
All of our dogs act so differently when they get outside of the shelter. Inside the shelter, it's kind of like their home. So there's,
Right.
there people come and they look through the window and they all bark, which they just bark. I mean, that means nothing. So we would definitely do a meet and greet. I mean, his colors are beautiful.
Yes.
He's a lot of fun. He's, like I said, playful. A fence yard would be good so he could play, a lot.
Yeah, he's got to have some activity.
Yeah, and he if I remember correctly, he does like the, not right now, And he plays well with Daytona, and he plays well with Rusty, and you know, some of our dogs he plays well together. So a meet and greet with another dog would be good, and it would just be whether or not.
So if you have additional pets in the house and you want to get a new pet, a meet and greet is a must to make sure that they're going to get along. And also, you know, bring the kids. It's very important if you're going to adopt.
Right.
Bring the entire family, right?
Yes.
So we can get a feel if the dog, you know, takes to the children. And Buddy, I think you would be a protector. I think something about me tells you would love your owner. I think something tells me that Buddy would be very dedicated to his owner and a protector. I guess that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You're a great guy.
Yeah.
Okay? You're a great guy. So, yeah, we have another dog going down the street, so I want to be cautious. Buddy, don't look.
Buddy's like, what are you doing in there?
So, tell us how we can find you while I'm trying to.
First, I wanted to say that Buddy is ready to go. He's had all his vaccinations. He's microchipped. He's been fixed. He is ready to go. So please come down and meet Buddy. We're at 171 Mineral Springs Road, which is off of Asca in Blue Ridge. And our phone number is 706-632-4357. Follow us on Facebook. Go to our website, Humane Society of BlueRidge.org. Of course, we're always looking for volunteers, and you can come out and play with the dogs and see if maybe you want to take Buddy home. And like I said, he's really just like all of ours. We have 5 or 6 that really have been there a little bit too long. They need to find a good home, and he would really be a good dog.
Folks, I think you know that we really, every dog we've brought here from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge that Rena has brought over, they're great dogs looking for a home, and they're great. Now, one of our friends found a home. Who did?
Joey. I didn't get to bring him, and then he got a home. I was going to bring him last week.
Joey found a home.
Joey got a home.
Now, they have plenty of cats, dogs, and you can go over and visit, and you can do a meet and greet, bring the entire family, because what we really like to do is make sure that it's a one-time adoption, and there's no, you know, you're not in a position you have to bring the dog back in 2 weeks or something like that, or didn't fit the family, so they'll work real hard. I also want to give a shout out to every single volunteer that on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, that volunteer at the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. I want to give a shout out to everybody out there working today. I know we appreciate Rena coming every week, taking her time to always bring a pet, and this is our favorite part. But we don't want to forget there's a whole lot of people giving a whole lot of time that's making this happen.
Right.
And the pooches. So I'm going to come out and see you. Is that okay? Well, let's get Buddy a home. All right, let's do that now and find some home. And Buddy's.
Yes, October something.
Yeah, that's where we parade all the pooches downtown, right?
Yep.
That's our annual pooch parade.
That's right, and hopefully it'll be cool for them.
Well, Rena, thank you very much, and we appreciate it. One more time, the website?
It's Humane Society of BlueRidge.org, and all right, come here, baby. It's all right. Come here.
All right.
And follow us on Facebook, and come on out and meet Buddy.
And we're going to have this clip on YouTube immediately on our channel for the Pet of the Week under the community section, and also on their Facebook page. We're out. BKP. It's time for Friday Night Football. Take us out.